watch a movie about the apocalypse, I always like to think that I'd be able to find my way out. Now, logically, I'd probably not be thriving if that were the case, but I'm still breathing in what seems to be our modern day end of the world type story. If you've ever watched a movie like that, you'll probably recognize the common characteristics. Something catastrophic happens, the main character has to fight their way out, and the entire movie is quite bleak. Now, let's be honest here, our situation sounds like the beginning of one of these movies. But we're forgetting a very common characteristic. The time that the main character solves their problems and finds a ray of hope in a bleak time. Now, it's easy to get caught up in the negativity of any situation, and especially during our current crisis. We're stuck inside, only hearing a barrage of bad news coming from outside, and it just becomes the perfect time to wallow in our sadness. I fell for this too. It was only a short while ago when I was writing the first draft of the speech when I was essentially telling everyone to prepare for the worst. I was trying to put a positive spin on the situation, but I myself also got caught up in all the negative stuff that might happen. Let's be honest, our current situation is quite negative. Countless people are stuck inside and sick, and many are passing away because of the virus. People cannot be with their loved ones when they need them the most, and there's a scramble for medical supplies. Countless people are unemployed, and the effects of this will undoubtedly ripple through the years to come. The barrage of bad news and heartbreaking stories seems like it will never stop, despite the best efforts of those who are handling the crisis. But it's essential for us to look at the fuller picture. Let me introduce you to the wonders that positivity can bring. If you read The Telegraph, you'll probably have noticed their news section where they report on the good news during the crisis. And if you've looked at any other news site, you'll have seen the celebratory clapping for the healthcare workers and other essential workers who are putting themselves in a lot of danger during this troubling time just to help out. If you've looked on reports of the environment, you'll have noticed that our CO2 emissions have gone down dramatically, essentially helping the environment recover from what has been a very big strain on it. I even predicted that people wouldn't be able to get shipping, especially for their own health, in my first draft. However, people are still putting themselves out there, trying to help the community so that people who are more at risk for the virus can get groceries without putting themselves in danger. People who have gotten sick are predicted to be immune and might possibly help develop a vaccine or at least a cure that will help people recover quicker. They're giving people hope in a time where it's desperately needed. This pandemic is also allowing us to start very important discussions about healthcare and globalization, and essentially helping us to create a better world for our children. The sheer thought that this crisis would bring any positive sides does seem a bit outlandish. It even seems crazy that we should be even thinking positively, especially considering all the negatives. How can we ever fix our problems if we can't face reality? That's not quite what the power of positivity does, however. Instead, thinking of good things in any time of the day will give you perspective. With the simple method of putting a positive spin on any situation, your life will be flooded with light where it's usually just a bit dull. Instead of stressing out about global events, you'll be thinking about how you can help out and help your fellow human. Instead of stressing about your recent assignment, you'll be expecting the fulfillment that you'll feel once you hand it in. A boring part of your day could possibly become a time for you to relax or do something you enjoy. Some might call this ignorance, or even naivety. This common misconception is understandable. To clarify, the power of positivity isn't covering your eyes with your hands and pretending everything is okay. The power of positivity means you're aware of what's really going on, but also know how to look at the bright side of things to make sure that you're feeling happy as well. Take a situation we've all been in. Public transport. It's often cramped, just a bit dirty, and generally unpleasant. When you apply positivity to the situation, you'll remember that you're cutting down on CO2 emissions that'll eventually would have been pretty bad for your health. However, you're now creating a safer society and a healthier you. You've also saved money on gas, which will help you with any financial situation, and you'll also probably be where you're supposed to be a lot quicker because you're avoiding traffic. So while this trip would probably be a drab part of your day and also a bad start of your morning, you can start remembering that those plastic chairs actually correct your posture and that standing up is pretty good for your health. What is usually an activity that doesn't bring any value to your day other than bring you to where you're supposed to be, it became a practice of gratitude and a good spin on your day. So let's be honest here. I didn't sugarcoat any of the facts of our crisis. I didn't act as if nothing horrid was happening. It is quite a bleak situation, and it is important that we are aware of what's really going on and that we're respectful with what's happening. But the power of positivity allowed me to see how I could make this time mean something. It might not have been completely effective in getting rid of all the negative ideas and facts, but that's not the point of the power of positivity. It allows me to put the entire thing in perspective, and it can allow you to do the same. When we feel constricted by the walls around us and the endless flood of information that we're feeling, choosing to look at the good stories as well as the bad ones could be a lifeline. So let this crisis be the start of a new mindset. Read the positive articles to see what you can do to help. When you feel lonely, strengthen your friendships by reaching out. Be there for others and be strong but honest, allowing them to be more aware of what's really going on while also making sure to give them some hope. With a bit of positivity, you can spin this in a way better direction. So yes, the effects of what's happening today will undoubtedly continue through years to come. Yes, what is happening in our world is devastating and will also be a long road back to what we consider normal. But with a positive mindset and full awareness of what's really going on, we can make it through this. So pop in a movie where the apocalypse happens. And remember, don't worry. With the right mindset, you can also find the bright side.